Okay. Now, there we go. Hello, everyone, every soul. I believe we are live now. And thank you for joining. So this one, which I wish to expand upon, is the new reality that is on humanity's doorstep, that all of you, all of us of the light has actually prepared. So it's here now, if you will. Hey, good evening, everyone. And someone can give me a report if this is working properly. The computer, if you will, the laptop that I do these on has many hours on it, as many of you know, and sometimes it moves a little bit slow. So, great. So, getting right into it. Let me do it this way. This is better. I can see your comments. And hello, everyone. So, for those of you that have been, following what I share for years, and uh, for the new ones, and of course, many comes and goes in reading and looking at what I share, but to all, we are on the brink of such an amazing, glorious time upon the planet. And as of late, perhaps the last year, you see I continuously speak about it because we are creating it. We are all co-creators, so by all of us putting our conscious thought and intention into creating the heaven on earth, if you will, it gets done. And having said this, there is nothing more powerful than us, the co-creators upon the planet, meaning that any remnants of what you would call darkness or elites or what have you, they can do nothing to hinder what we are and what we're doing for humanity. So, the Savior, if you will, is all of us, and it is the choice for the ones upon the planet to choose to be their own Savior, enjoying all that are their own Savior, and of course going into the new harmonious, abundant, and free reality with it. So, having said that, it is getting created. It's not an illusion. And for any of you spiritual teachers or ascension teachers, ascension guides, any that are guiding ones that are on their spiritual journeys or even their life's paths, it's very important that they know what is coming. The reason why they're doing all of their inner work is to enjoy this new reality that we are co-creating all together. So that is very important for all to know. And of course, all that are ascension guides are also co-creators. So once we have all of these ascension guides, spiritual teachers, purveying the same message out there to all that have awakened and the ones awakening, then once they're all in alignment, we create this heaven on earth scenario for all. So that is currently happening. We are getting more in alignment, and as the awareness spreads and the unity is created, it is forming. Um, with this, what I'm given so far, there will not be a definite flashpoint, if you will. If we look at the flashpoint being, let's say, a duration of this long, we are actually in the middle of the flashpoint, or even towards the end, if you will. And I need to say we're towards the end, and that is the reason why the new reality is on the doorstep for humanity. And it needs to be done that they make the actual physical choice in this reality to transition to the higher dimensional reality. So it's being done this way, that it's transitional in that respect. So a material, physical mark and choice in this reality is the deliverance to the next one. And there are deeper reasons why, for the most part, the prominent souls that are the guardians and the way showers here, these are the ones that need to make this choice, make this material imprint which transitions them from this reality to the next. And the reason that we need to do it this way is because of most of humanity so far, the souls within the physical vessels, their multi-dimensional abilities are not activated, and they cannot make the transition per se without someone showing the way and creating that new reality for them. So the way that it works is we do not need to have all of humanity on board for to do this. We have the most important co-creators, which are many of you, which are empowered with the abilities to create the new reality through your intent and conscious thought. The more that you are in alignment with the new reality, what you wish for yourself and all others, the quicker it gets built. But also, the more that are in alignment with that, exponentially it gets built quicker. And we are in this time with what I purvey constantly, the divine plan, the GPMS, if you will. It is the ultimate deliverance for all of humanity. And having said that, it is definite, it is imminent, it is instant. But when you look at instant, we've been about a year with it yet, but the reason that I continuously say instant is because time does not matter to us. We exist for all time, and also we transcend time and space. And also to give it an added push, because I also am a powerful co-creator, when I say it's instant, it keeps it right here close to us, more instantly happening. If I am to say, oh, it's going to happen in a few months or a year, what I keep doing as a creator, I would keep pushing it in front of us. So as a creator, I need to say, it is happening now. As most of you know, you create from the now moment. And if you are creating, and if you are saying something is going to happen, then you are creating the reality where it's always going to happen but doesn't get here. So you need to create in the now moment to bring it quicker to everyone, and for everyone to realize it. So with this new reality, I put a post out on the timeline just a few hours or an hour ago, just giving little bits and pieces what the new reality is for humanity. And of course, the new reality is none of the old. And what is currently happening upon the planet is the old is destructing very rapidly. Everything's being revealed about the nefarious intents, and also you can say the nefarious agenda that was attached with it, with the remnants of darkness, desperate attempts to maintain a control over humanity, which is all in vain. And as we see with each time that the remnants of darkness attempt to do something, they continuously put their foot in their mouth. So it's beautiful to see. Now, it's important for the higher co-creators to keep their focus on the new world. The old is destructing, and we say, yes, we know that it's destructing fast. So when we say that, we are also creating that destruction of the old enslavement paradigm. So we don't need to continuously put our focus there as powerful creators. We say it's collapsing, but we also know this. And at the same time, we need to say we're on the doorstep, or it is here now, that we are creating this new reality. It is not a deception or even a lie to say that the new reality is here now. For it is. GPMS is an actual energetic entity, a reality. It's here now. It's here now because it has already been chosen by approximately 17,000, and it has a definite place on the internet and in the consciousness and in the reality. So GPMS is not going away. It's being built, and with every one that is ready to become in alignment with it and add the voice, it becomes that much stronger. And one of the beautiful things about GPMS is that anyone can look at the amount of consents on a daily basis or hourly if you wish, but I suggest don't waste time checking every day or every hour, but from time to time drop in and you can have a look and you can see where it's building. And this is concrete, it is definite. So we have made GPMS all-inclusive for all levels of consciousness, meaning that ones do not even need to be awakened to make this choice. It is even given as the most logical and rational choice to make, and it is so simple. So with many levels of consciousness, again, I feel we have covered all of those that even someone not awake would want to choose the new reality that is just briefly outlined in our old versus new comparison page on the website. So the best way to look at this is a worldwide vote, and it's important to look at it as a worldwide vote, a worldwide choice, because most of you or all of you know how the old systems worked with votes and the importance of majorities. So to purvey it simply to everyone, we put it like it's a vote. You have a choice. So if you choose the new world, what is in the comparison page, this is a vote, but it's the most important vote ever taken upon the planet. You are choosing your new reality with this, and this is one of the ways to give it to everyone. This is perhaps the last vote that you'll ever need to take, but this is your vote of deliverance into the new free and abundant world. So you give it to everyone as a as a vote, if that's what they need. but also for the awakened ones that are awakened to the higher levels of consciousness. Immediately they should recognize the GPMS for the divine instrument that it is. It is the deliverance. It's what everyone has been here to do for humanity, to create the heaven on earth. And part of doing this, each one had to do their inner work first to activate to the highest degree their co-creator abilities to be able to create this new reality by energizing it. So having said this, we're approximately, I believe in one day's time, it will be 1 year since we put out the worldwide website for GPMS, and in 1 year, 17,000 votes. But having said that, at any moment it can reach the virality proportions. So here it is collecting the voice, but at any moment it's going to go viral, so it can happen instantly. And of course, what we need to do, and what I've been nudging, the entire spiritual communities, the truther communities, not only I, all of you, and others have been nudging them. Hey, come on, pay attention. Get this to all of your people worldwide. This is it. The majority rules upon the planet. So once the majority of humanity chooses the GPMS, it gets done. It's that simple. Nothing can go against a majority upon the planet, but there is also the added elements assuring that it does get done. Most of the planet believes in God, and everyone knows that God is very real, and that does believe and does know it. And there's also the galactic component, and with those two things, the belief in God and the belief in, let's say, UFOs and galactics, that's perhaps around 70%, 70% worldwide. So that is a majority. And when you have all of these accepting and wanting this worldwide, it gets done. So nothing stops it. And this is the way it is. So we, this beautiful new reality is at the doorstep. And again, we have many that are breaking through higher levels of consciousness that enables them to see that it is actually what they came to the planet to do, that this is actually their mission, and it is the end of their mission. It is the end of all of our missions. So our end of our mission has already begun. It's already taken a huge foothold into the reality. It is the transitional path, so it is already here. We just need to get ones aligned with the path and join it, and then it's done. It's all created. So with it, it is the absolute freedom from the old. And, we're using money as the good tool. So the remnants of darkness use money as an evil tool, and less than 1% controlled it. So with GPMS, we are using money as the good tool, and the 99% of the people use it as a good transitory tool. But the simplicity of the money that is created by the 99%, it doesn't need any of the restricted, limited things like gold or natural resources. It just takes all of the people joining together and activating the intrinsic value within each. And this is why it is ultimate, and why it is the most simplest solution, and it is why it has fully disempowered the cabal, Illuminati, the darkness, whatever you wish to call them, it has fully disempowered them and taken away any bit of their control. So this is the absolute deliverance out of the darkness, out of hell, if you will. And it just needs to take, at this time, a few more of the divine leaders worldwide. And these divine leaders are light leaders that are not parts of governments. These are ones that have been upon the planet, have been bestowed with enough divine knowledge to know that there is a divine operation upon the planet to deliver all of humanity. However, some just do not have that little piece of the memory yet to activate them into higher gears and come together with GPMS. But again, we're right at the threshold of that occurring as well. So, with many, they were in the past were bought by the old systems and the old money, which kept them distracted. But again, everyone is being rustled out of the old because the new is here. And I need to say that there is not a choice with humanity. The new reality is coming, meaning that everyone will choose this very quickly for what it offers, the full freedom forever. So it is absolute, and again, we're right on the doorstep of it as we continue forward and keep raising the vibration upon the planet, because the vibration also needs to be raised to support the new heaven on earth scenario as well. And everyone is doing a great job with that. So, how's everyone doing here? Are you hearing me well? And how is the video feed? If I can have a quick update, that'll be great before I continue a little bit further with this. Thank you. Donna Ivy says, let go or be dragged. That's essentially what it is. All of humanity, as we said, are being forced. They've been stripped of all of their rights and humiliated beyond comprehension. So, divinely, they are forced to make the most humane and even civilized choice out of the savagery. Thank you everyone for reporting. Everything is going well. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I need to say, yes, they are divinely forced to wake up. And I know all of you could agree with this. The circumstances in the last couple years have been divinely orchestrated to affect that. That they had to see humanity, that they have to make a choice. So everything was exaggerated, that was negative and dark and with ill intent and nefarious. It was exaggerated to make it easier for the ones to make the divine choice to do what is right and go forward. So it has all been set up, and you could say, yes, they are forced to make that decision. For when you look at, let's say, the 99% upon the planet that are the human souls, within every human soul, it is ingrained within their heart to want happiness, harmony, peace. They have been already inscribed with it. it's part of their script and it's their guidance here. So this is also sets up that they'll all choose uh, the most absolute new reality. And with the new reality, there is no war, there is no need for armies and all of this, armies and navies and military. There is no requirement for it. And in the new world, very quickly, the effort is put towards rapidly increasing the robotics and the technologies that advance humanity very quickly, with also many new technologies being released instantly and more coming. And it swiftly advances humanity even out of the requirement for money at all. So it's all set up beautifully to transition everyone into what you thought. Let's say anyone watching this that doesn't know about divinely everything that's been occurring, it's going to advance you into what you thought was a sci-fi fiction movie, but it's actually reality. And especially when we have the official first contact upon the planet that will arrive once the vibration will sustain it to have it. And the vibration is that stage is set once the stress of humanity is released. Then they all rise in vibration, and it supports the environment that the first contacts occur, that is widespread worldwide and what have you. So what the GPMS does, it instantly eradicates that stress level for all of humanity. So you know that in a instant, if everyone right at this time upon the planet knew that they did not need to stress about money or their financial future again, and if everyone knew that they were free to only work about 10 hours a week in the beginning, if they knew that right now, there would be no stress level upon the planet, and you would have your first contact occurring, and you would have the happy, harmonious planet in the least. So we are right on the doorstep of that. And this is why GPMS is so important. And it's why it is the ultimate divine solution above all, because it delivers instantly that full um, obliteration of stress. And then it places everyone into the healing environment at once, which is the monumental consciousness shift. So they only need to know consciously that this new reality, GPMS, is at their doorstep. Then they begin to heal rapidly from inside, because the number one control negative stress element for all of humanity has been lifted. So once they know that once they all vote, all of that stress is over forever. So there is never any concern about your children's future, your financial future. Everyone is free with this. And again, to keep it simple, uh, each one of you, but when you're all joined together, you create the money out of thin air, if you will. But you create it because you can and you exist, and it makes every thing flow during the transitioning. Everyone is happy. It's the most, it's even the most logical and sensible thing to do. Yet, you do not see any of the governments doing this. The only attempts that they did was with, oh, we'll give you a little basic income, while they still controlled things in the reality like inflation and what have you. and keep you a slave to their system. With GPMS, there is no inflation, there is rapid deflation, where all of your goods and services become free, and very quickly you phase out of the need for money at all. But there is also the reason, as I said, your politicians, if you will, the governments, they do not have your best interest in mind. If they did, worldwide, these 200 leaders, if they had your best interests in mind and all of humanity's, what we are doing with GPMS, they'd already have it done. So it's very obvious with this simple solution that their intent is not for humanity. And this is why humanity must unite, because they are the majority. That's what makes us absolute, and it gets done. So, is this clear for everyone? You know, I keep looking, I keep reiterating and saying the same things. I put it from different perspectives, but in reality, I do not see any simpler way, even to someone that is not awake, uh, but to logically just show it to them, even if they're not awake. But anyhow, I believe I've covered as much basis as I can to present it simply. I see a question here from Louise. She says, with the market failing, our 401k money is depleting. Well, let me say, 401k money in the U.S., you don't need any of that. It doesn't matter what occurs with it. With GPMS, you're activating the unlimited money. So with GPMS, it doesn't matter if one has savings in the bank now or in a retirement fund or not. It doesn't matter. Your existing wealth gets honored into the new system, while your new system is the absolute wealth anyway. So ones are going to have more money than what they know to do with. And this is why money then becomes, they see it becomes obsolete, that it's not needed. So when you're saying the dark agenda is to keep you enslaved, actually, you know, with the markets, it's all an illusion. And yeah, it was part of the illusion to keep you enslaved. But what's actually occurring, it's awakening more and more, because the dark's intent is actually more exposed of what they tried to do. With GPMS, there is no financial trading markets. There is none of that. There is no requirement for it. That was, again, the financial markets and trading markets was all part of complexity meant to control. There's none of that, because there is not that control in the near future with GPMS on humanity. Everyone is working as community. There is no reason to profit, to create gain, because it's always there what everyone wants. There is no competition, and there is no need for any type of competition in the future, and there is no need for ones to trade or invest money, because GPMS, the essential goods and services, creates the money instantly to supply all these. You know, right now, many of you still need gas and petroleum to operate the vehicles you have here now. What occurs is that all of the fuel is paid for by you from this huge created unlimited slush fund. So you're going to be going to the gas station and just filling up and not needing to pay, because you are the actual co-owner, a shareholder of that fuel. So you don't need there is no competition anymore with GPMS. and the new reality what we're doing. So the savings that you have in the bank with the digital monetary systems, if divinely it needs to be done to rustle ones to begin to get in alignment and create the new reality, all of the old financial systems, your digital accounts will be shut down, and when it comes back on, they'll all be set at zero. If this is what it takes for humanity to make the choice now, they need to know how vulnerable they have made themselves. But they also need to know to make the choice to take the rightful ownership of all the infrastructure on the planet uh, for humanity. As you can see right now, with some simple things, what I put out the other day with the G7, their ideas to control humanity only allow you to have so much money and only buy what they want you to buy. Look in Denmark what is occurring, what they're attempting. These are all dark mechanisms that are divinely forcing humanity to make the choice for the new world, GPMS. So have no fears and be informed of what's going on. So yes, in the blink of an eye, all of your old digital accounts can be set to zero. It doesn't matter if you got $1 trillion in the bank or what have you, or in investments. It can be set to zero in the blink of an eye because the governments own and the elites own and operate the internet where all of these digital counts are at, all of the banks. So you have this less than 1%, which is the politicians, the banks, and the governments are the ones that are controlling you with the internet and the digital accounts. But with GPMS, when the people owns the internet and the entire financial distribution upon centers upon the planet, then the people are free. So this is why it is so simple. But if it takes us to wake up the rest of humanity to make this choice, also it will be done, whatever divinely it takes. There is no war, and as you're seeing, war is not allowed in this reality. There was illusions to make one think that it was war, to create the fear, because their narrative, when they go to create the fear, it lowers the vibration and it keeps their old reality intact. But at this point, most are wise to it, so there is no war. And it's all divinely assured that it is. There is no apocalypse. Everyone is going to heaven, the GPMS heaven scenario. And this is what's occurring. Sure, there are some that are, let's say, they're dying, but the human souls, some of these are ascending. They are not taking the physical vessel intact. For the most part, 6 billion of human souls are taking their physical vessels intact into the heaven on earth scenario and experience the full freedom in existence. However, we are still in that process, which is quickening, though, at every moment. I'll have a look at a couple more questions, and we'll call this short. I opened up the door to cool it off in here. Where I'm speaking so much, I'm heating up. Probably another solar flare, too. With the sovereignty, Marcia just said deprogram financially and claim the sovereignty. with that, over the last decade, the sovereignty and autonomous movements has increased, but it has also been instrumental to get us here to this time. So we have in the past with sovereignty, to keep it simple, ones would put to the governments that they're sovereign, to claim that they no longer wanted to participate in the governments and the way that that society was. So this was a proclamation of sovereignty, which was done individually in the past. However, because of these times we are in, and because so many around the planet have become sovereign in the last decade, you have reached a point, and also in conjunction with the Great Awakening, that you don't really need to prove your sovereignty now to any governments. You just need to unite worldwide the majority, and you create the sovereign autonomous reality. See, with any governments, their system is not set up to support nor recognize the sovereignty and to change the world. However, the darkness knew it was coming, and at this time, you can just go right fast forward into complete sovereignty. So you do not need everyone individually saying to a government that they're sovereign, where a government doesn't even want to recognize that. So it could be a waste of time. Your best thing now is to know that you don't need to prove to any government that you're sovereign. You just are in that state, and you align with those that know that as well. So you can keep it that simple. Thank you. It's clear. Uh, Mary says she think it sounds amazing, but many people might find it hard to believe. Well, Mary, as I said in the beginning, you don't need per se the majority to believe it right now. You only need enough um, of the vanguard to be constantly putting it out there and supporting it. So in actuality, there are some figures that uh, for a new direction, if you will, and if you look at the herd mentality, you really only need maybe 3 or 4% to continuously put the concept forward. Then the rest follow. So at this point, it doesn't matter if the majority don't get it, as long as the ones that do remain persistent. And that is one of the reasons um, I am substantiating uh, the reality of GPMS tonight in this. Again, just reiterating the importance of the vanguard going ahead and creating this, which we are doing. So it's important, not don't focus on ones that are, let's say, at least not receptive to it. Just keep gathering together all of those that are consciously awake enough uh, to recognize it and say, hey, this is what I've been waiting for. This is part of my divine purpose, my life's reason for being here, what have you. And focus on those that are ready to want it as well. And yes, as you're saying, they don't need to understand it. They're just making a vote. Thank you to Susan. Yeah. That's why I said in the beginning with GPMS, as long as they know that they have a choice and that there's a worldwide vote going on, they don't need to understand it. They just, if you will, look at the platform of the worldwide vote, which is the new that's listed on the comparison page on the website, the old versus new. And as we said, um, everyone is and will choose it. It's the ultimate reality, the ultimate solution for humanity. It is the most all-inclusive, most pleasant choice that they would ever want. So it does occur very quickly, and it is occurring. With that, what I believe is what I'm going to do is, let's say, just end this and keep this one relatively short, and may speak on Telegram later. We have sometimes the discussions on there where ones can join in. So far on Facebook, I don't see any opportunity where others can join in the discussions and conversations. So Telegram provides that, where we have ones. You can have perhaps thousands on a video chat, if you will, or voice discussion. So it's great. Then you get a lot more input. Uh, Facebook will be upgrading with these sort of options here in the very near future to create community. So at this point, Facebook is not community in that respect. Telegram is, because Facebook is restricted and limited, but it will expand as well. So in the very near future, all of the social networks that that are serving humanity goes forward and becomes just all converges just into one social network worldwide for all of humanity, and all the individual uh, government, country censoring of the internet, all of that comes off. Everything is opened for worldwide community. So it's not worldwide community at this point. All of the social networks, as we know, they were uh, or they are emerging towards that, but not all of the social networks are community oriented, Facebook included at this time, until they administer the changes that are in line with community. And also at the point when you see Facebook also beginning to promote GPMS, then you'll know that, yeah, it's done as well. So at this time, we just keep going forward. Everything is divinely assured. So it's important for everyone to be proactive. Don't sit and wait for someone else to do something for you. Share the word of GPMS out there. Do not sit and wait for any one big savior to save you. Everyone is part of this. You are your own saviors, and you need to unite to get it done. And, for at least 20 or 30 years, 2 or 3 decades, many of you have been led along with the belief of the Gesara Nasara, expecting one or someone to do it for you. It never got done. So break through those misleading illusions and get it done now by uniting together and doing this all together. No one, again, is going to do it for you. You all have to do it together. And that's very important. All of these timelines with that, and anything with gold, backed currencies, that is all the entrapment timelines. Do not get caught into any of that. And very simply, who owns the gold? So it's very logical that any gold-backed currencies where the bankers and the politicians and the governments own the gold, that it's not all inclusive for humanity. So don't get caught into those limiting beliefs and restricted timelines as well. Everyone wants the full ultimate freedom, and GPMS is that absolute solution that does it. So don't take a bone when you can have it all, if you will. And the dark tactics in the past was throwing you a little bone to keep you quiet, or a little bit of grease to the squeaky wheel. Do not be bought by these things from the old system. Be absolute and stand in your full divine authority and your full divine knowing that enough is enough. Choose the ultimate timeline and get it done now. So, having said that, love and light, and much much gratitude. So, woo! Thank you for the amazing evening, and we're getting it done. And yeah, join on Telegram at some point if you wish, on my official Rick Jors official channel, I believe is the name of it. And when we have discussions, you can join there as well, and pitch in. And we have discussions on, our last discussion was on activations geographically and physically, and some of the divine applications that we utilize and administer in doing our energetic activations. And of course, it's all very real. It's very important, for everything is energy, and all the divine souls have the creator code, the spark, which is the missing link to creating reality. It is within all of you, and it is how you create and participate in co-creating a reality. And so when you work with energy, you make the creational spark that programs and commands the polarity of the molecules of reality. To give a simple perspective on how it works, but it is very real. And for any of you that's questioning it, you know that energy is very real, with your ability, if you're not awake, when you could feel fear, what would happen? If you had a fear, a very frightening event, you would feel it right in your heart. That is physical energy. This lets you know that energy is absolutely real. So I don't need to go into much more with that. Okay. Love, light, unity, lots of winks. The new reality is right on your doorstep. You just gotta choose it, and everyone is. It's divinely assured that they do. So I don't mean to rush everyone, but come on, get on board. The train is going, so that we get to the heaven on earth destination quicker. I know all of you are tired in this reality of transmuting and creating it for the others. So let's get it done. Woo!